Recently, Tamil Nadu government has increased the electricity tariff by 4.8% for all the households, for the industries, as well. And this is not just a one-off increase. In the last 23 months, this is the third time they increased it. In September 2022, they increased the tariff by 26.7%. And in July 2023, they increased it by 2.1%. And in July 2024, they increased it by 4.8%. In a cumulative, you see that they've increased it by 33.7% in the last 23 months, which has been unheard of and which no state in the country has done this. And this is a very big burden for downtrodden people. And this is one issue. The second issue is that when before DMK came to power, they had promised in the manifesto that they will have the electricity, what is it? Monthly. They'll have the electricity bill, monthly bill, instead of 2-month bill, which they failed to announce it. And based on these two issues, like DMK today had done a protest in Chennai, one-day protest, for the Tamil Nadu to withdraw this hike. And also this will be followed by in all these districts where DMK is going to do a massive protest along with the people of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, 85% of the industries are run by the small and medium scale industry. And they are the worst affected because 33.87% increase in 23 months, in that too post-corona. They have closed down 50,000 industries. And now because they are closing down the further industries, like, and why all this happening is because of corruption by the Tamil Nadu government, and not only this government, earlier government as well. Like. See, there are nearly, Tamil Nadu's power requirement is, in the peak summer, it is about 19,500 megawatts, so keep it 20,000 megawatts. The total power production in Tamil Nadu, both private and the public sector, is about 34,000 megawatts. And out of 20,000 peak requirement, Tamil Nadu's megawatt requirement, 5,500 megawatts are by the Tamil Nadu government. The rest 14,500 megawatts are by the central government and the private sector. And private sector contributes literally about 11,500 megawatts. That's the maximum. Tamil Nadu government's power production is, on an average, is about 3 rupees 40 paise per unit. Whereas they are buying power from the private sector to 12 rupees to 15 rupees maximum. And this is a huge scamming the people of Tamil Nadu. And in Tamil Nadu, the pending works of the Tamil Nadu government, nearly 17,300 megawatts of pending projects are pending the last 20 years. And out of which, from 2014, 10 years back, till today, 5,700 megawatts of projects have been announced, some have been inaugurated. And not even one unit of power has been produced by these. And also you have these coal imports, like where there's a huge scam, substandard coal with low calorific value, high ash content. All these is a big scam. And in the last 23 months, when they increased the power tariff by about 33.7%, the total revenue for Tamil Nadu government is about 40,000 crores. Before 2 years ago, the Tamil Nadu announced that, the electricity board announced that we have a loss of 10,000 crores. But even after getting a revenue of 40,000 crores after that, even today they are saying that we have a loss. Which means that there's a huge scam, huge corruption going on and mismanagement going on the electricity board. And the burden is shifted to the people of Tamil Nadu. And this increase in tariff, they were waiting till the Vikranandi by-election was over. Even though this was notified in July 1st, the announcement came at July 15th after the election results. So the Tamil Nadu government needs to go back on his tariff, and the Tamil Nadu chief minister says that the central government is imposing this, so I have to follow with folded hands and my bowed head. I don't see what is happening. You don't agree to central government for anything except for this tariff hike. And his promise of monthly bills for all the meters in Tamil Nadu. So this is something which people want him to do, but he is not wanting to do, which he will definitely face the consequences. Of a lot of protests, people are very angry today of price hike and hike in milk price, hike in essential commodity price is there, hike in the registration, the house taxes are there, property tax is high, water tax is high, everything is high. And then the electricity tax bill is also high. People, they are very, very fed up of this government.
Sure, but Tanzan to mention that as per RDSS, Union Government RDSS scheme, it is necessary to increase the EV tariff per year to get the Union Government fund.
Are they listening to the central government for all its schemes? I don't think. Why are they not implementing the central government's education policy? So it is a selective amnesia. They select the thing that they want to. And last year what happened was, because of the impending parliament election, the chief minister withdrew the hike for the households. It was imposed only for the industry, 2.1%. This time for the households, for industry, for everybody put together. He said that if we listen to the central government with bowed heads, and then he shouldn't talk with all his rhetorics in the platform saying that we are opposing central government with tooth and nail and all these talk shouldn't come out.
But you want to withdraw, share.
This side. This side. This is 4.8% hike. It's a big burden. And I was surprised, like at least the households could have been like last year. Even households, like already they're burdened fully after the corona. They have no salary. The salary is gone. The work is gone. The employment is gone. And now you're being burdened. Today 1 kilo of tomato is costing 100 rupees. Milk price is increased. Everything is increased. And people, I don't know what they're going to do. And they very wily they did it after the by-election.
There are speculations that Benedict Stallion might be able to deputy chief minister in the coming days. How do you respond?
I know that's their intra-party affair, and actually I don't want to do it.
BJP and the NDA alliance are responsible about how
So basically, the issues in front of the people, and people have to decide on that. And I think in the 2026 election, people will give a befitting lesson to the DMK.
What do you want to do that?
Yes, I mean, this issue has been raked up for the last 10-15 years. It's just not a one-off issue. Definitely everybody needs to be there. Just because he's just Mr. Adani doesn't just mean that anybody would go smart. Whoever it is, whether it's Adani or anybody else, the inquiry needs to be done.
What kind of inquiry?
I think that CBI inquiry needs to be done. State government, they will lash it up. They're the one doing this. And give the inquiry to the people who have been robbing the people. Give this responsibility to them, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do anything. But,
So recently you issued a statement saying that there should be at least 8 to 10 ministers, private sector locals. Karnataka fiscal government drawing that particular draft.
yes, they're just, they don't withdraw it, they're just kept it pending. Why we wanted in Tamil Nadu here is, this is not only my party's stance, it's also the DMK stance. In their election manifesto, DMK also said that once they come to power, 75% of the work at the fourth level and the third level is going to be based on that region, that area. This is my party stand out. We need to bring out these things, and this is not a way of like state, would say, pressurizing the industry is not an issue. I see it more as a social issue, social justice issue, because unemployment is there at a very large level, and so I think this is something where we as taxpayers give the industries so much of benefits, tax benefit, water benefit, power benefit. We give our land to the industries, and we give our agricultural land to the industries, we give water to the industries. And for quid pro quo, I think they need to give people who are given their land and be paying the taxes, all that for the benefit of the people of Tamil Nadu.
Yes, another thing. Also, there's been a lot of allegations and complaints security and safety. Should be done like you can outstrike
A lot needs to be done with the railways, but fortunately we have a good and a smart minister, Ashwini Vaishnavi. He's a nice person, he's a decent person, and he's an effective minister. I think he will get to the crux of the problem, and I'm sure he will smoothen out all these issues, which are safety issues. I think a lot more needs to be invested into the safety for railways. So now the speed is increased. We have Vande Bharat and all these things, right? Speed is increased, safety needs to be. The big problem for Tamil Nadu, for India, is both the passenger as well as the freight trains go on the same track. Unlike the other countries, where they have a separate freight track and then separate passenger track. So you have the freight tracks which are overburdened, and then you have the same tracks for the passenger as well. So that needs to be gone into, and once that happens only, I think this could be avoided.
Thank you.